Mona Watson had always been the epitome of strength and resilience, at least to those who knew her from a distance. She had a career she was passionate about, a home she cherished, and a marriage that, while not perfect, had endured its fair share of storms. However, years ago, Mona experienced a nervous breakdown that had shaken her to her core. The memory of that dark period hovered like a specter, making her worry about the possibility of another relapse. Recently, life dealt her a double blow. Within a span of just 6 months, both her parents died, her father from a sudden heart attack and her mother from an aggressive form of cancer. And if the universe hadn't already dealt her enough, Mona sensed a widening chasm between her and her husband, Mark. Their conversations were now filled with palpable tension, their silences weighed down by unsaid words. And then she began seeing her, the ghostly apparition of a blood-stained woman reflecting back at her from the hallway mirror. The first time it happened, she was so terrified she dropped the glass of water she was holding, shattering it on the floor. Shaken, she quickly scheduled an emergency appointment with her psychiatrist, Dr. Sheila Anderson. "Mona, it's natural for you to be concerned," Dr. Anderson told her after she described her ordeal. "You're going through a lot. But hallucinations can be manifestations of stress. It doesn't necessarily mean you're relapsing into a severe mental illness." While her psychiatrist's words were meant to reassure, Mona couldn't shake off the dread that gnawed at her. Each night, as she passed by the hallway mirror, she would see the woman, her face twisted in anguish, her clothes stained with blood. Despite it all, Mona clung to reality as best as she could, covering the mirror with a heavy velvet drape before going to bed. One stormy night, her husband Mark called to say he was stranded at a work conference due to severe weather and wouldn't make it home. She felt a chill, but comforted herself by saying it was just one night. After sealing the mirror behind its velvety shroud, she retreated to her bedroom, a book in hand as her sole companion. It was close to midnight when she heard it, the shattering of glass downstairs. Adrenaline surging, she grabbed her phone and tiptoed out of her room. She had barely made it to the top of the stairs when she saw him, a man with a covered face, brandishing a knife that glinted menacingly in the dim light. Frozen in terror, Mona considered her options. Before she could think further, the man lunged at her. Instinctively, she swatted his arm, causing him to stumble and knock the velvet cover off the mirror. That's when he saw her, the blood-stained woman, her face a visage of agony and despair. The man let out a cry, his eyes widening in horror. He staggered backwards, losing his balance and falling down the staircase with a resounding thud. When the police arrived, they apprehended the intruder, his knife lying innocently next to him on the floor. Later, Mona learned that he had been wanted for the murder of a local woman. When she saw the victim's photograph in the newspaper, her heart sank. It was her, the woman in the mirror. From that day on, Mona never saw the vision again. It was as if the woman had accomplished what she needed to, as if her restless soul had finally found a modicum of peace. And although the events shook Mona profoundly, they also acted as a catalyst, pushing her to confront her own fears and struggles. With the guidance of her psychiatrist and the tentative rekindling of her relationship with Mark, Mona found herself on a path to healing, forever grateful to the mysterious woman who had saved her life. Remarkably, this account is based on an actual true story, a testament to the enduring mysteries that sometimes intersect our lives, urging us to confront our deepest fears and embrace the unseen. This proves sometimes fact can be as scary as fiction.